hit him.
Touchdown, Debo in the slot. This is my end zone. Give me everything you got. Defense, hit him with that Cosa Nostra. Quan Alexander, this dance, Nick both sides. 49er Empire, 49er Empire. This is for the fan base, die hard, set by. Stand up, 4-9 to the heart, J.E. Paul Lord back in Candlestick Park.
Kyler Murray decided to show up against all teams. Who? The Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
They barely edged them out,
That's
26-23.
true.
And they show up against the Falcons. They win that one. They show up against the Giants. They win that one. But Falcons was a nail-biter. It was 34-33. And what happened?
Hung in there.
Saints game, loss. 49ers, loss. Buccaneers, loss. And it's about to be another loss, Ronbo. We got nothing to about these people.
I love the way he built that up to where he was going.
Oh yeah.
Are you listening?
Damn. Ronbo Sports here, representing the Niner Empire Organization worldwide, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Germany, France, Mexico, Brazil, South America. From, tell you right now, fam, the Empire is still raging. Every street is still talking about the 49ers being one of the best teams in the NFL, no matter what happened this past weekend, if not the best team in the NFL. So maybe could have talked a day after the game or during the game, was all down and out, but I'm telling you right now, I feel a lot better this week, or at this point in the week. We got this, fam. You know, I gotta tell you, I'm concerned about the adjustments going to be necessary to be made coming up for this game against the Cardinals, but I do like the positives that came from this game, right? Fred Warner may have arrived, fam. You know, it's an interesting set of circumstances that are taking place. First, you lose Quan Alexander, and it looks like we were toast. Fred says, I'm going to step up in this role and I'm going to play two roles. Fred is out there running the defense, and he's bringing the energy that Quan was bringing. I got Dre Greenlaw showing out. Oh, he had a great game. And I suspect that's going to continue. He's already seen the Cardinals once anyway. Remember, he came in against the Cardinals after Quan had to make his exit the last time we played. And then you look at K'Wan Williams, fam. K'Wan, I really feel bad about Spoon. They took Spoon off the ballot and they put K'Wan in. K'Wan could be the best slot cover corner in the league, fam. He's going to get a lot of votes. Tyler Lockett will vote for him. Tyler didn't smell the ball until the end of the game. And I'm not even sure. He got hurt, didn't he? I got to look back and say, I don't think Tyler Lockett made one reception, even in the late minutes of the game. Tyler was sitting on the bench crying about something hurt him. K'Wan hurt him, his feelings. Yeah! So there's that. And then there's Debo Samuel. Fam, I know, but listen, he may have had a very costly error. All the receivers did. They weren't even rookies, all right? Everybody not named E-Man Sanders, and George Kittle wasn't playing, of course, but here's the thing. Not since 1985 when Jerry Rice as a rookie came into the NFL. He had 10 catches in a game as a rookie, a couple hundred yards. Now, nobody's going to come close to that record probably anytime soon. Well, maybe let me wait. But Debo Samuel, that's a record that stands for 49 rookies. But Debo Samuel is the first rookie. Well, he's a third rookie since Jerry. You know what? Don't quote me on that. He is one of three. As a rookie, 8 receptions, 100 plus yards. Fam, we got a beast in the making. I've said this about Debo and I can feel it. The determination to drive, the relentless effort on every play. Now, he makes mistakes. He's a rookie. He's got to get used to everything. His timing's got to get down with Jimmy. You know, this is a complicated offense he's coming into. I got all the faith in the world in him. So I'm looking forward to the days ahead. Fred, K1, Debo, and hopefully Dre Alexander, because I'm liking what I'm seeing. That INT was something special, wasn't it? Ooh, yeah, who expected that? Hey, this 49er team is full of surprises, fam. This is a championship caliber team, and this is how you build it. This is what Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch were talking about when they're saying building for sustainability and building the team right, brick by brick. And we're watching this house go up. So, hey, you know what? And also the growth of Jimmy G, fam. I know I've heard it all. I've been out there like a fool arguing with, here's the thing. Jimmy G is in his first season. Hey, Ronbo, don't give us that excuse. I'm not going to give you that excuse. Because it's exaggerated and way over dramatized every time he makes a mistake. This is how many games do he win? He's 16-3, and that speaks for itself. We're going through, Kyle Shanahan already said it. He's got to get a complete season in so they can get all the things that Jimmy G is going to do bad and some of the things that need to be corrected can be thrown out of the whole equation. So this time next year, you don't expect to see Jimmy G look anything like he looks now. And I believe that, too. This is why I ain't giving up on him. Not even, no. Jimmy G's got way too much potential. I still like the way he keeps his head on his shoulders. Granted, there's about getting hit by a 265-pound dude at 100,000 miles an hour, untouched. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to lay no blame on people today. I'm not going to do it. I already did it too much already anyway. But I do like what I'm seeing in Jimmy G, and I'm looking forward to his progressions as we go toward the final week of this season, which could be a long time for us, man. I still see us in the playoffs. We got to get some people back, though, and that's the scary thing right now. Because I'm looking at the fact that George Kittle, they're saying, it's going to be a game-time decision with George from this week on. As far as I'm concerned, if they kept George out one more week, I'm not going to be mad at it. I want him to get healthy. I want him for the Packers, so Stephen A. Smith, Mike Florio, and that Spears fool out of Dallas, all these guys can eat crow in just a little bit, because if we go in, or should I say we go in, when they come to town, and Jimmy G hands Rodgers his hat, along with the 49ers defense, of course, well, what are they going to say then? So that's what I'm looking forward to. If George needs a rest, coach, you sit him back. Tie him up if you have to, because George wants to play. And he don't care how bad he's in pain. E-Man Sanders with the rib thing going on, I don't know. If he's not ready, that's fine. In fact, if I had my way, it'd be Debo starting. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and Dante, get your butt out there. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. Dante's got to work. He's getting paid. Get your little butt out there. And Dante, Jesus Christ, stop. Let's go. Got all the skills in the world, fam. So anyway, Richie James, it's time. Let's do these things, right? And if nothing else, this is send a message to people that have already earned starting spots. Man, y'all can't. Whoa. Hey, you're starting for a reason. Please don't make us look foolish about it. So I'm looking forward to that. And with that being said, the Cardinals, oh man, I hope we're ready, fam. But anyway, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's go ahead and let's talk to you and get up close and personal and see how you're feeling about this last game and the game coming up against the Cardinals for that matter. Yeah. Matter of fact, it's the middle of the week again. You know how we get to intimate conversations with folks we talk to a lot during the course of the live programming, all during the week and everything else. And you probably know Dion. This is Dion. Dion, hello.
How's it going, Ronbo? How you doing, man?
Dion,
good to be on the show.
I appreciate you being here too, fam. I'm doing great. I would be doing better though. As you know, most of us have a bad taste in our mouth from that game. So it's hard to take it rationally and say things like, they played a good game, they came out with the dub, it's okay. We roll it. But yeah, I'm mad as hell for a number of reasons, but we're gonna get into that because I want to know how you feel about it. So Dion, we got a lot of injuries, fam. We got a lot of injuries. George Kittle, Kyle Shanahan came on to say that he made a mistake. He didn't mean to tell the Cardinals people that George wouldn't be playing this week. But I guess maybe George will play, maybe not, or else he's trying to screw up the Cardinals' game plan. You know what I want to know, though? Can we continue? I mean, we've got guys out. Joe Staley with the finger now. He's out for 2 weeks. We don't know if Emmanuel Sanders, even if he plays, if he's going to be healthy. D, can we can we continue to compete? The Cardinals ain't no joke. I mean, how we gonna be?
We are definitely going to continue to compete, Ronbo. Let me tell you this. I'm not gonna. I know it sounds hard to say this, but I think we're better off with Justin School at left tackle for right now. And the reason I'm saying that is only because School has done a fantastic job in place of Joe Staley. And I feel like what happened was we wound up messing with something. We tried to fix something that wasn't, that wasn't broke. And when they came in, if you notice, Clowney just jumped from side to side and said, let me pick on Joe. I'll go pick on Mike. Let me pick on Joe. I'll pick on Mike. So I think we're still going to be very competitive even with all the injuries. So I feel like Justin coming back in is well deserved. I feel like he'll do a great job for us as far as the pass blocking and as far as the run blocking. I don't think we're going to have too much of an issue with that. Now, the injuries that hurt are Emmanuel Sanders and George Kittle, because those are Jimmy G's go-to guys. And the reason they're his go-to guys is because those are the dudes he trusts. You got to think about it. You can't trust Dante Pettis to catch the ball. You can't trust KB to catch the ball. Now, you can trust KB when it's around the end zone. At the end zone, he's money. I can give him that much. He is money. If we are 5 yards away from that end zone, throw the ball KB's way. He'll make the catch. But if we got to get down there, we got to get first downs or other things. But, I mean, you got to think about it. Trent Taylor set back in his injury. Jalen Hurd is set back in his injury. So we don't even know if those guys are even going to be able to come back all year. So we still have 2 spots open and available for us to be able to use as far as bringing guys off IR. We were hoping Trent Taylor would be one of them. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. We were hoping for Hurd as well. So the only guy left we had was Garrett Selleck and Kentavious Street. And we just signed DeMontre Moore today, so you're probably not going to bring Street off IR. You'll leave him where he is, only because you've got Moore now. We all wanted Moore in the beginning. We wanted.
Though, I got a feeling, Julian Taylor, he won't be DJ Jones, but I like him in the middle. That game against the Skins, when you see amongst all that humanity, huge dudes, and you see Julius emerging from the heap to grab that, I said, look at that. Oh, y'all make Julian never gets to play, and look at that beast. I got a feeling DJ Jones is a freak. Huge, wide, so he takes up a lot of gap and can move. But I think Julian might work, because I know he's going to get activated this week.
Yeah, Julian Taylor is actually really great. When I first saw him last year in preseason, I was looking and going, if this guy gets playing time, he's going to wreak havoc. Because he was eating teams alive in the preseason. If people didn't see that last year, you guys slept on that one, man. Because Julian Taylor was wreaking havoc on anybody on the edge. He was killing them from the right side. So, I mean, Julian Taylor himself is definitely going to come in and do his job. And that's the thing. Like, with our defense, when we have injuries, everybody freaked out when Quan went down. They were like, oh, my God, what are we going to do? What's going to happen with Dre Greenlaw? And what happened? Greenlaw came in and did his best Quan Alexander impression by doing what? Picking the ball off over in overtime, giving us the moment that we should have succeeded. But what happened? The offense stalled. So that was the hard part, man. It hurt. I tell you, but I almost cried. I looked, I said, Jimmy, you got to get the ball down there and get things going. But it was amazing, man. I looked, I said, oh, geez, this ain't going to, hopefully we could get this together.
But you know what? The thing is, you're right. We got all kind of guys that can step up defensively. It's the offense that I'm scared about. And I'll ask your opinion on this as well. Are you, now I know I get mad. Are you ready for Richie James to make his debut?
I am very ready for Richie James to make his debut. I'm glad you said that, because that was one of the points that I had. You know what needs to happen? This is what needs to happen. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Ronbo. We need to go ahead and start Deebo Samuel and Richie James. And because he's been gone so long, you know what you should do? Just because Pettis seems to have this I don't know how to catch the ball thing going on, this little disease in him, give me a second there, sir. Something fell. I apologize about that. Boom, there we go. We back at it. But just because the situation with Dante not knowing how to catch the ball, the simplest thing we can do is get Richie James to go on ahead and do what he needs to do. I think he can get in there and be a viable receiver. I truthfully feel that. You know why? Because it's going to be a situation where Richie will come in, play his role, do what he needs to do, and keep going. And the thing is, he's a quick twitch guy. If you give Richie just that inch of space, boom, he's gone. So I think, honestly, Debo and, Richie James should start, and they should bury Dante Pettis on the depth chart, because I just read an article today, literally today, that said Shanahan does not trust him. You got to think about it, man. Pettis has some of the lowliest stats on the squad. Do you know he's the only receiver we have that's not averaging a first down per catch?
See, that's less than 10. This is the thing, and I know what you're talking about, because Shanahan has said twice this year now. He says I'm giving him every opportunity. He missed him that week. I didn't know I missed him. I think, DJ, I think it goes back weeks. When he said, Dante didn't get into the game, I got to make sure that didn't happen again. That was not an accident. Shanahan's a professional. That was no mistake. But when the press jammed him up on it, he had to say something.
Yeah, he had to make up some kind of excuse, because to be honest with you, you know what the excuse was that he came over when it happened? Oh, man, that actually falls on Wes Welker.
Right, he did pass that down, didn't he?
So we're going to pass the buck on to Wes. and I'm not going to take the blame for this, because I don't want to make it seem like I don't like the guy. Because Shanahan said himself in the article that I read today, he's his biggest fan. And he was the reason they jumped up to go get him. But what happens? I jump up to go get you toward the end of the year. You show me promise. You make me feel like I've picked up, a guy that's going to be a future number one receiver. And then when it comes down to it, he don't show up. I mean, he can't even do anything, man. Like, it's that's why I said he's literally the only receiver on our squad that doesn't average at least a first down per catch. George Kittle, 11.8 yards per catch. Debo Samuel, 11.3 yards per catch. Kendrick Bourne, 13.3 yards per catch. Marquise Goodwin, 16.5 yards a catch. He ain't even playing. You gotta think about that. The dude we were just talking about, Richie James Jr., 5 catches on 9 targets, 108 yards. That is 21.6 yards per catch.
See, Dante's not putting in a day's work. And this is the thing, but you know what, though? I do wonder, Shanahan being the guy he is, he didn't give up on CJ. He tried not to give up on Williams, the running back. And now you've got this situation. And I know he likes Kendrick Bourne, because he said years ago, when Kendrick first came, he brought him in his rookie season. Or should I say Shanahan's beginning. And he said, I was concerned if we waived him or anything like that, somebody else would pick him up. So, with that being said, you just mentioned Dante Pettis as being a project almost in his mind. Can Shanahan cultivate these two guys to somehow be productive anytime in the near future? Is it possible? Because you just said some things about Dante that echo in my own mind. But is it possible?
This is the thing with Dante. Dante's going through a sophomore slump.
Yes.
And sophomore slumps are usually reserved for quarterbacks, if I'm not mistaken. Usually don't see any other position on the field go through a sophomore slump. But that's basically what you could chalk it up to. But what I can tell you is because he's a receiver, you shouldn't be going through a sophomore slump. This should be just continual growth in the right direction. And I can tell you right now, I don't think that Pettis is going to be able to move forward. Now, KB, you know what he needs to do? He needs to get with guys that have hands that show him how to catch the ball, because there are too many times where he drops it, but there's so many times where he catches it. And Shanahan is on record saying, KB's got some of the best hands in the league. Well, it don't look that way when he on the field dropping the dang ball. Because I can tell you right now, there's one dude that doesn't get a lot of publicity, and it took him a while to get into the Hall of Fame, and it's Chris Carter. You know the one thing about Chris Carter? He didn't drop the ball. All his years of playing, Chris Carter didn't drop the ball. T.O. for us was fantastic. Started dropping the ball late in his career.
Right. And actually the beginning, too. Rice, some of the greatest greatest receivers of all time had issues at one point in their career, whether it be the beginning or, like you're saying, toward the end of your career. Des Bryant, same thing. People yell, get Dez up in. No, don't get Dez up in here to add to the same problem we got. Dez cannot catch the ball. So, yeah.
No, I don't want him either. I feel like this, because I even had a couple people comment on the video that I made and say, well, what about getting AB in here?
Uh-oh.
We don't even know if AB is going to be available to even play in the league, let alone getting him in. And I don't want him in here trying to be a cancer to our locker room, with all his antics and all this other stuff. We ain't got time for that. If you're going to come in here to play football, you're going to come in here to play football. You're going to do your job. You're going to stay humble. You're going to follow the 49er way as all our other people are doing. We're not going to have you on the sideline screaming at Shanahan and Wes Welker because you ain't get the ball. We don't have time for that. That's why we didn't pick him up in the first place, because we knew of all the antics that came with him. So when you look at it from this standpoint, it's period point blank. We don't have a lot of guys right now as far as our receiving core and depth. So it's very simple. You switch it up. Throw teams for a loop. You know what they look at Richie James at? A kick returner.
Yep.
A punt returner.
Yep.
So if you throw him in there and you start him, they're like, wait, we wasn't prepared for this dude. I mean, we've seen him, but we ain't seen him enough to really know what to do with him. So next thing you know, you go ahead and throw Pettis in the slot, or you say, forget it, Pettis, you go outside. We're going to throw Debo in the slot. Debo showed up last game. He started catching the ball. He was catching everything coming his way.
That's why I know he's determined. He's determined, DJ. He's going to get better. He is going to get better. You know what? All he is a young Garcon. And sometimes I think about it. Somebody mentioned it the other day. Man, we ought to bring Garcon back. I didn't even argue. I said, you know what? Garcon, like you just said, he don't be dropping the ball. He had a couple issues last year.
He got heads, and he's a fighter.
Yes.
Garcon and the reason, and your reflection of him, I'm saying that Debo would be like a young Garcon, because Garcon and Anquan Bolden had the same type of thing. The only difference with Garcon and Anquan Bolden was Garcon was faster.
Yes.
Anquan was one of those dudes, when he caught the ball, you didn't want to tackle him. Because he was gonna
wrestle and drive.
The way that Juszczyk flipped poor Mika Fitzpatrick,
man,
the way he flipped him is the way that Anquan Bolden will flip people on a daily basis.
I mean, that's still the most epic I've ever seen. I've never seen man's feet are flying all up in the air. What? I mean, Juice was like jiu-jitsu or something.
I have seen some fierce stiff arms. I've seen some fierce blocks from offensive players. I have never seen a player get flipped Nick Fitzpatrick did. Juice came in and literally at that moment right there, at the end of the game, you got to look at that dude and you just got to say respect.
That was a leverage.
Don't surprise me. I literally am now, a highlight reel for ESPN, because I think they had a NFL primetime or something like that had like most angriest runs.
Yeah.
Juice was number one.
Oh, Good Morning Football.
Fitzpatrick like a rag doll. He just came in and get off me. What are you doing trying to tackle me? I'm Juice. They call me Juice
for a reason. DJ, I tell you what, though. Here's the thing. I would go ahead and I'd be the guy that gave up on Dante. I said, Dante, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Richie in your spot. You're going to be our return man. Yeah. This is an area you flourished in before we even got you into being a receiver. So embrace that role, Dante. I'm not giving up on you. I just want you to get out there. I want you to get a little bit more feel for the game, and we're going to bring you back in at some point. Don't discourage him. I mean, keep him up, because Dion the man's got skills. I mean, Dante Pettis runs routes and people just be running all the other way. That is a gift if he could just apply it. God.
Yeah, he is a huge talent. And that's the thing. It's like you hate to see talent wasted. It's just like the situation with Antonio Brown. No one has ever knocked that man's talent. They just knock his brain because he does so many things that are stupid. With Dante Pettis right now, there's some kind of mental block that's not allowing him to fully unleash. That's why I said when I called you the other day, man, he needs to stop playing with kitty cats, start getting on that field going like a lion, because he has to tap into whatever it is. Maybe he needs to hang with Debo more often. I don't know what needs to happen, but you cannot continue to get out there on the field, lay a goose egg, and or drop big passes when we do, when we're out there counting on you to be the guy. We know you can be the guy, but we need you to do it in that fashion that says, I'm going to make sure that I hold down this number one spot. You don't need Emmanuel Sanders. You need me. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he has to have that in his brain. He didn't have to express it, but he has to know inside his own head. When he caught that touchdown in the Buccaneers game, you know what he tweeted out? I know the haters was mad to see that. Keep that energy.
Oh, I didn't even.
Keep it.
I got to go.
Yeah, he tweeted that out. Oh, yeah.
See, he knows it.
Keep that energy. Do it and use that. Take the fuel from people like me. Because I'll tell you right now, if I saw Dante Pettis to his face, I would tell him straight up, you soft. I don't believe it.
You soft,
You're
bro.
soft.
Yes,
you're
that's
soft.
all it's doing.
And if you're telling me right now that you're not soft, show me something. Give me a reason to believe you're not soft. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and I grew up in a time where I wasn't supposed to make it past my 18th birthday.
Yeah.
And God bless me, I'm 38. You know what I mean?
And you couldn't get to be 38 by being soft. Not in L.A.
Not by any stretch of the imagination. And literally, this hat right here was an unfortunate affiliation. So it's different. But it's different as far as that goes. I've always been that type of person. I've never had any type of problem. But it's a different situation for me whenever I, have that type of issue. And I've always been smart about it, man. I've never had no problems with doing anything. It's just been a blessing to be able to do that. But Pettis has to open his eyes. He has to wake up and see. He's got to wake up and smell the coffee, man.
Yeah. And I'm talking about a guy who's got a Major League Baseball player, and damn good one, man, at that. For a father, he's been around jocks all his life. I'm still going to hold out hope for him. But let's go ahead and get into your feelings about this game. The Cardinals are waiting on us. They've got all the confidence in the world. They're going to say to themselves, as they did probably at the end of that game, we should have won that game. We could beat them. We could beat this team. So what do you think is going to happen in this game, Dion? And give me a score prediction, too.
Man, look, I'm going to tell you right now, this is exactly what I'm thinking. So this is the trend for the Cardinals, and I told you I like trends. So Cardinals tied their first game with the Lions, of course, right?
Yeah.
So what happens after that? 3-game winning streak. They say, hey, man, we are the Cardinals. We're coming. We really got this. Actually, I apologize. For the Cardinals' 3-game losing streak. They lost to the Ravens, lost to the Panthers, lost to the Seahawks.
But look at those three teams. Those are very good teams.
Very good teams. So what happened? Kyler Murray decided to show up against all teams. Who? The Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
They barely edged them out, 26-23. Right. And they show up against the Falcons. They win that one. They show up against the Giants. They win that one. But Falcons was a nail-biter. It was 34-33. And what happened?
Hung in there.
Saints game, loss. 49ers, loss. Buccaneers, loss. And it's about to be another loss, Ronbo. We have nothing to worry about these people.
I love the way he built that up to where he was going.
Oh, yeah. I had to build it up because it's very simple. This is going to be a 4-game losing streak to them. And the reason being is because our defense is angry. They're very upset. They're looking like, you know what, we did everything we could, man, and we couldn't pull that off because our kicker that we signed off the street, who has, and this is from a very good source. One of my very good friends I grew up with is a diehard Chargers fan. You know that Chase McLaughlin is a rookie and he's already been cut from 5 different teams.
No,
yeah,
I didn't know there'd been that many places he's been.
Different teams that he's already been cut from. The dude, he texted me, he said, man, I feel so bad. I wish I would have called you and told you don't rely on him, and let you know ahead of time. Because when we drafted Nick Bosa, and I wasn't, and I was a little unsure because of the injury history. He got at me. He said, hey, man, look, I'm going to tell you right now, brother. It's very simple. Nick will do the job. He will be out there. He will be a force to be reckoned with. And I told him, I said, as long as he's healthy, I'll believe you because I see his big brother on your squad and he's doing his thing. But our defense is going to come in there. And you got to remember, if you watch the post-game presser, Defoe wants some more. He's hungry. He already said ahead of time, I want the Cardinals. I want them in every which way because we didn't get them the way we were supposed to. And I can tell you this, with School back in the lineup, watch exactly how Jimmy G feels a little more comfortable. And it's not to say that he's not comfortable with Joe. The issue is that there's a lot of rust. You got to think about it. Joe ain't played in 6-7 weeks, and now he's about to be out 3, 4, 5 more.
Oh.
At this point, just keep School in there. It's not to say it's the end of Joe Staley, but unless you can get him in some garbage games, we don't have garbage games coming, Ronbo. We got too many good plays. We got too many games coming up. We got to play the Ravens. We got to play the Pack. We got to play New Orleans. We don't have no garbage games coming up where Joe can come in and get his feet wet again and get back in the football shape. We don't have time to reinvest.
And I want to piggyback on that by saying I'm not happy with McGlinchey either. And I'm thinking Brunskill ought to be back out there and let those guys come in gradually. There's no shame in that. And then Kyle can explain to him, don't get mad. We're all a team here. We're going to do what's best for the team. I want you to get back in sync, but you need to get in a little bit at a time. And that should be the end of that conversation.
There you go. Work him in. And I don't mind Brunskill being out there because Brunskill is a better pass protector than Mike McGlinchey.
Anyway.
He always has been. And McGlinchey's better on rundown. So if you want to do that, hey, man, we got to run the ball. Mike, get in there. And then, the pass come in, hey, Daniel, go on in there.
Yeah.
And then they look and they go, man, why do they keep switching the tackles out? Because one's better at one thing than the other is, and vice versa. So for us, this Cardinals game, I can tell you right now, I am going to say that, I know the last game they gave us a hell of a fight and they took us down to the wire. If you didn't get to see, man, Jimmy got caught slipping in the store in Arizona by Chandler Jones.
Oh, that?
Yeah. Chandler walked up on him. He caught him on Snapchat, man. He said, look, he laughed. He said, there's a sack. And Jimmy turned around and said, oh, man, get out of here. Man. Get out of here.
Hey, was that him walking around in that wasn't that supermarket scene, was it?
Yes.
Oh, that was Chandler Jones?
That was Chandler Jones.
I didn't even know that. That's why Jimmy turned.
Look, Jimmy, you look, man. We don't have Daniel and Justin to protect you right now, man. You gotta be careful now. You gotta watch yourself out there. But hopefully somebody can catch a little Kyler Murray in the story.
We got him this time. And Daniel, it's funny you mentioned that. Did you see during the cast against the television cameras, they had it all set up. Actually, they had a little text circles, right? They got him circled. Here's Russell Wilson coming this way. They had one man on point, 2 guys behind him. So in Russ now, all avenues are shut down. This is why I love Bobby Saleh. This is a brilliant man. People don't understand. He didn't give him credit last year, and I was trying to tell you, listen, guys, that guy's not stupid. He needs some better personnel. But mark my words, next year, if he gets better players, you're going to see something different. That was so set up right. Rusty got 1 run on a day, and that was because of a slipped assignment. The 49ers, everybody should know, if late in the game, it's like Richard Sherman should have told our guys too. Late in the game, if you rush past Russell Wilson, that's the key. He's going to step in front of you like he always does, and he's going to run. And he did.
He's better on the move.
Yeah.
He's better on the move than sitting in the pocket. He always has been. And that's the thing, because he's a little bit shorter than the average quarterback. That's the reason why he has to move around, and he's so shifty. See, Russell's thing is if you give him an inch, he will take a mile because he knows how to create space properly. But if you don't, but the thing is if you learn how to collapse the pocket correctly with Russell and have your linebackers ready for the edges, as far as for him to try to run out, then you're okay. But if you collapse that pocket incorrectly against Russell Wilson,
he's gone.
Make you pay as he made us pay. But I can tell you this score for me, I'm going to give, as far as our Cardinals game, I'm going to go ahead and say we win at least like 31-14. And the reason that I feel like this is because we're going to have a bigger gap because there's going to be some changes made to those wide receivers. I think Shanahan is at his wit's end when it comes to Dante Pettis, and he's going to say, you know what, Pettis, I can't do this anymore. And he may just take our advice, Ronbo. You may look up and see Dante Pettis returning punts and see Richie James Jr. out there on the field doing his thing. Because think about it like this. We have 4 viable running backs. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have Jeff Wilson Jr. We have touchdown TC.
That's right. He'll be back.
We've got Matt Breida. You know what I'm saying?
Breida's hurt. But you just named 3. You got Mostert, you got Wilson, and TC.
Yeah, and Breida.
And Bro, Brady's going to be probably out for a couple of weeks. But
yeah,
the
he'll
thing
probably be out. But I'm saying we have 4 viable running backs.
Well, that's true.
So you got to think about it. It doesn't matter who we hand the ball. It's gonna look at what Raheem was doing when we put him in the game at the last minute.
You know, he can do that. Even when nobody else can run, I noticed that.
Arguably. So what do you have? Yeah, what do you have this week? What's going to happen, I can tell you right now. If Emmanuel Sanders can go, he's going to go.
Yes.
He's going to do whatever he can.
Yeah.
He's going to try his hardest to go.
If nothing else,
I hope he can, because he's a security blanket. Jimmy has a thing where he can trust him and he feels comfortable. Same thing with Kittle. But what I think is what they're doing is they're going to set it up to a point where they're going to say Kendrick and Debo may start, unfortunately. I think that's what they're going to do as far as the starting wide receivers, because Kendrick has more experience than Richie. But I think they're going to start mixing Richie in. They're going to say, you know what? We've got this guy. He's dynamic. He's quick. We see what he do. We see what he can do if he gets that space. He can pull a Debo where he can run fast. The only difference between him and Debo is he ain't out there punking people like Debo.
Yeah, no.
Debo literally fight for yards. I think Debo is a running back in a wide receiver's position.
And you know this.
Because he goes out there and he fights for yards, and he does it every single time. When he catches the ball, he runs angry. And his thing is he'll only go out of bounds if he needs to. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't, and if you're between him and the goal line, good luck.
Yes, indeed.
Good luck.
But if Richie gets a step, he's gone. And that's the nice thing about this.
Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, he literally will wave to you like this as he's going, I'm gone. See you later.
In fact, we got to do that right now, fam. It's time for the ending holler, as only Dion can do it. Dion on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
No!
Thanks, Dion. Yeah. Hey, fam, as you can tell, yeah. Dion, as you can see, he has plenty to talk about regarding the 49ers, and you just got a little sample of Dion's knowledge of the game and the team as well. So click on, I'll give you all the information that'll be right here in this video. Click on over to Dion, give him some support, subscribe, and say like it, man, like it, Dion. And of course, you'll hear him a lot. He chimes in a lot during our shows, our live shows all the time. So, yeah, D, social media, we'll put that in for you too. By the way, did I mention that Ronnie Blair being out is an awful thing, of course, but DeMontre Moore, who shouldn't have been cut, but we couldn't afford to keep him just due to the numbers, he's coming back in to spell, of course, D Ford and Nick Bosa. Probably nobody's going to make Nick Bosa sit down because Nick never sits down. He keep him out there all the time. So then there's that, all right? Bam! It's score prediction time. I'm almost scared. It's score prediction time, and
Ronbo.
What?
You gave me the okay, didn't you?
On what?
I'm out.
What?
$700.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna need half of that back from you.
Oh, no. I give you how much money every week? Come on, man. What?
See what?
Whoa.
Ain't a mouse in the house with me around. Just one big rat. And you know who that is.
What?
I'm gone.
What? Oh! Is he talking about me? Hey, MC! Hey, MC, man, come on, man. I can't believe, okay. You know what? And he's been winning all season long on the strength of me saying go for it. And look at this. See, now he's mad. That is a lot of money, though. He's made a killing this year. He can afford it. Fam, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to give you my score right now. Listen, oddsmakers are saying we're to win by 11.5. It's a minus 11.5, 49ers? MC, hey, MC, I didn't say take that bet. Don't do that. And you know what? I don't know about that. 11.5? Are they looking to rope in? Don't do it. You know what, though? The 49ers got to be a little peeved. They got to still be stinging over both the Cardinal game, which they had to squeak out, the fact that they lost to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. The 49ers may be angry. Maybe they may come out there with a little rage. Let me think about that for a moment. You know what? 49ers, even Kyle Shanahan's going to have a plan lined up offensively. Don't even worry about that. Even if we don't have E-Man and George Kittle, which I wish they did, but don't. Just keep in mind, it may be that they don't show up, right? I'm going to go 27-13. Because they're not going to score any points on the 49ers defense. DeForest Buckner already made it clear that he wants another shot at the Cardinals. And they've had enough time now. They've had two of these guys. There's probably like a immaculate scheme set up defensively to stop Mr. Speed, Kyler Murray, from getting away this game. All right? 27. What did I just do? Did I quietly close that spread? I did, didn't I? 27-13. Maybe the odds makers know something. I'm going to take the spread. Listen, I won't recommend that you do it, but I'm taking the spread. 11-5, 27-13. Niners win this game with an emphatic boom. Yeah, we're going to get back into this. And it could be, depending upon when George and E-Man get back, we win this game, we could go back on another 8-game streak. I'm not playing. You know what? I'm going to stick with it, too. 27-13. Fam, I'm going to get on out of here. I look forward to hearing you and your predictions coming up just a little bit. All right. Are we ready? Let me pump this one up. A Niner!